All right, we are recording. So let's do this. I am going to share my screen here. And you guys should be able to see that, correct?
Yep.
Right.
Great. Okay, so I've repurposed the Notion page as a little slide deck. So what we're going to be showing off here is EdenOS, what we're calling v0.1, which is our first milestone in a series of milestones. I first want to show you guys some resources here. So pretty important, we have the public Eden Wiki. And if I click on that here, you'll see this is a Notion page. This is public. This has all sorts of information about what we're doing with Eden right now. Everything from what is Eden, the Eden Peace Treaty, to how you participate in Eden, how you can join the conversation and contribute. And then also details like Eden roadmaps and status. And if we tap in on Eden roadmaps and status here, we've got a few areas that I want to call to your attention. So we've got the EdenOS roadmap. And this breaks down what we're working on in Eden. So you can see that we're at v0.1 here, which is the community formation milestone here. And it shows kind of where we're going, right? So we're going into elections, we're going into budgets and bylaws. We'll take a closer look at this in just a moment. The other thing that I wanted to call your attention to here is this status progress board. So if I tap in here on that, you can see this is a very high level view of what we're working on, and basically, what hasn't been started but needs to be done for this milestone, what's in progress, and what's been completed. We'll have these high level boards available per milestone. This one happens to be focused in on v0.1, which we'll be demoing today. But it's a great way to get some insight into, what we're working on in our progress, right? Going back here, let me close that out. I do have a link here to our dev environment for Eden, and that's what we'll be demoing out of today. And then we have the GitHub. Guys, everything that we're doing is public, it's open, and we encourage people to dive in, collaborate, join in on the conversation. In this repo, you'll see a list of pull requests, issues, of course, and then a more granular version of that board I showed you before that we work off as we're developing, and you can see our conversations in here as we go. We're all about transparency and developing and working in the open here with this. All right, so our milestones, right? I mentioned that we've published this roadmap, and we are currently working on v0.1. Now, what is v0.1? It's all about standing up an Eden community. So this includes work around inducting the Genesis group, and in the invitation system. So once we have the Genesis group inducted, how do new people join the community? All of this is smart contract driven, as you'll see on top of the EOS blockchain. Version 0.2, which we're going to be starting on soon, is all about elections, and then v0.3 gets into establishing a system for budgets and proposals. And then it goes on from there. Taking a closer look, zooming in on that here. v0.1 community formation, we've had an estimated completion date of May 7th on there, which is tomorrow. And with everything that's in it, I think we're doing pretty good with that date. It includes being able to sign in with authenticators like Anchor, Scatter. We even have direct ledger support. You can view and browse other Eden community member profiles. You'll be able to view your Eden NFTs and those of other community members. And then the Eden member induction process, which means that Eden members can extend an invitation to other EOS users, fill out your profile in here. After parties to the invitation manually hold a recorded induction ceremony, the inviter attaches that video recording to the pending induction, and then witnesses and the inviters vote and endorse the member. It takes the minimum donation amount. In this case, I think it's going to be 10 EOS. And once that's done, the member is inducted. Now, I'm glossing over that really quickly because we're actually going to see that in action. There are other things that we've built into this. Basic contract enforced 10,000 active member limit. And right now, you'll see that we are using IPFS. That is somewhat manual, and we're mobile responsive. Now, I won't get into this granularly here with v0.2, but like I said before, our next big milestone is going to be enabling elections, on-chain elections, and then enabling things like establishing budgets and bylaws and all of that. It gets more technical as we go. So we went over the current milestone, and that's really where we get into the demo. Before we start the demo, though, any questions from you guys? Most of you on this call are already in on this here. All right, let's demo. So this is EdenOS. Right now, we are not signed in, and I've got actually two versions going side by side. We have the iPhone running here, so you can see what it looks like in the responsive window. And we have this running on desktop over here. And of course, a little blurb about Eden, what it is, and then links to various resources. Now, if you come into EdenOS, immediately you can go into the community tab and see who's in the community. Of course, we have this filled with test data right now, so there's a lot of the same when it comes to profile photos, and not a lot of creativity around names of test accounts and things like that. But we can see here, here's a profile for Egion. And everything is in the open here. We can look at their EOS community account, blog, various social media links, and see their profile statement. We can even go and view their induction ceremony. And right now, that simply links to a video of a monkey. This is not an induction ceremony, but it is a video. And then you can see Egion's NFT collection. So he has quite a big collection. He's collecting NFTs for everybody listed here. And his NFT is also collected by several people. So you can see who's collecting Egion's NFTs. And this is really where the meat of it begins here. So once we go over to the membership dashboard, you'll see that we are not signed in. We're prompted to sign in using our wallet. Before we do that, I'm going to switch over to my iPhone here and show you what those other screens look like here on mobile. So we'll tap in on community, and let's go down to, I will just tap into one of these. And we can see here the member card for member 21, their profile statement, etc. One other thing to mention here, there are, I'll do this from desktop. You can actually interact with these NFTs on Atomic Hub. So we can come in here and see the NFT, all of the details. You can make an offer on it. NFTs are minted once a new member comes into the community. And the first in the series of NFTs that's minted actually goes straight to auction for the benefit of the community. So you get insight into all of that, what the price is at the moment, etc. You can also see when NFTs are on sale, but not in auction. And then switching back over here to the iPhone, we see the same thing there, welcome to Eden. So let's sign in. I am going to use Anchor for this. And in this case, I'm going to be signing in as test255.edev, just an EOS user, not an Eden user at the moment. So as an EOS user, signing in with my EOS account in EdenOS, we are prompted with, hey, are you ready to join Eden? The membership process begins with an invitation. Reach out to a current member to get yours. We'll guide you through the rest, right? And then there's a nice little graphic over here on the right that gives you a preview of what this process entails. So create the invite. There's going to be an invitee profile that they've got to fill out. Then it goes on to the induction and endorsement stage. The invitee is going to be asked to take a donation, and then all done. We have a new member, NFTs are minted, etc. So Eden, or we'll say actually test 255 reaches out to Alice. Alice happens to be on the go. So she is on her iOS device. And so she's going to sign in with Anchor. And she wants to invite test255.eden or .edev, excuse me, into the community. So we will go ahead and log in as Alice. And we can see there at the very top, it shows that Alice is logged in. And we can see she does have some outstanding invitations at various points in the induction process. Of course, we can dive in and see for test 113, it looks like it's pending completion. So where is that at? It is still waiting for member 11 and member 12's endorsement. And she's being prompted to reach out to those endorsers. And we can see where she is in that journey as well there. But that's not why we're here. We are here to invite a new member. So I'm going to go back to membership. And at the top, we have a button, Invite to Eden. We're going to tap that button. And we're going to add an invitee and witnesses right now by their Eden account. In the future, hopefully we can do a nice fancy lookup and I could just type in people's names who are already in Eden and it'll pull that up. But right now, EOS accounts it is. So the invitee, it looks like is test255.edev. And guys, as we're going through this, feel free to interrupt, ask questions, comments, etc. Witness one account, I'm going to have my friend Igyan be the first witness here. And Pip is going to be the second witness. All right, test 255, Igyan, and we'll submit that. Now, again, everything is on the chain, right? This is a smart contract action called induct init, and we're going to have nice recording contracts in here shortly. We'll be working on getting those in tomorrow. But this is the request that actually creates the pending invitation on the chain. So we can see that the invitee is test 255 and the witnesses, Igyan and Pip. I'm going to confirm this. And that has been signed, okay? And so we see success. Now it's your invitee's turn to create their Eden profile. Your invitee and witnesses will now see this pending invitation in the membership dashboard if they sign in with their blockchain account, or you can share this direct link with them. This induction process must be completed within 7 days. And if this invitation expires, you will be able to issue another, okay? So let's tap.
Why was Alice able to do that? Alice is not a full member yet.
Actually, Alice is a member. So we've already done, in this state that I have it set up in, we've already done an induction of the Genesis group, and she happened to be in that Genesis group. So.
Oh, okay. I assume because she still had some invites that she wasn't.
Yeah, so, and we could probably improve the language on that. Actually, let's tap back on see your invitations as Alice here. So these are outstanding outgoing invites, and we could probably clarify that. And you can see below that, invitations awaiting her endorsement.
Okay.
So yeah, in this case, she's already an inducted Eden community member, and she has extended invites to now 3 people, right? Test 113, test 254, and now test 255. And this is just a way that she can keep track of who she has active invites out with and follow up with them, etc. So if we go in here, we drill into test 255, we'll get that same screen, right? We're waiting on the invitee, okay? So test 255 is in here and we're signed in. If we click back on membership, hopefully enough time, yeah, we can see that test 255 now has an invitation to Eden. The inviter is Alice, and Egion and Philip are the voters, and 7 days are remaining in this.
The voters are the endorsers, right?
Yes, yes, and we probably need to land on the language there. I don't know if we call them witnesses or endorsers. We've played with those terms, and we're even seeing voters in a few places. So as of late,
I like
gone towards
witnesses.
witnesses. Yeah,
Witnesses is the one I prefer.
let me make a note to get rid of the voter language. Get rid of voters.
At some point they do vote. I guess the witnesses vote, right?
They do, but I know, Thomas, you and I have been talking a lot about this. It's a checkbox in the UI. So it's kind of either no action or you endorse, right? Instead of I vote yes or I vote no, at least the way that it's exposed right now. All right, so it looks like action is required on my part as test 255. So let's create a profile. All right. So this invitation expires in 7 days. And yeah, we've gotten invited and now it's time to set up our profile here. So let's do it. Let me see if I can find my scratch pad with this information there. I'm gonna pull that over there. All right. So you guys probably didn't know this, but my full name is Eden Tester. And I don't know off the top of my head the Roman numeral for 255, but he is the 255th.
It's CCLV.
Thank you, Stephen. All right. A long line of Eden testers there. Yeah, quite the heritage. All right, and we need a profile image. Now, this is, I think, the part that might cause the most friction at first for people. Because there's really no way from the UI yet to actually upload an image. Also, all of this is going to be driven in a decentralized manner, so we are using IPFS. We are investigating and working behind the scenes on an easier way to do this, but right now, the user is expected to upload to IPFS their image outside of Eden to get the CID or the hash of that image and to paste it in here. I happen to have one, but I actually wanted to use this as an opportunity to show you guys an easy way to do that. There's a tool out there called Pinata, pinata.cloud, and they have quite a generous free account. You can sign up and it's pretty easy. From there, you go in and you upload. So I'm going to upload a file here and we'll choose my square image and we'll upload. File successfully uploaded. Now you don't see a second one here because it already exists. And here's the hash for it. Let me refresh and actually see if we do see a second one. But yeah, it's currently pinned. I'm going to copy that hash now and we'll paste it. Boom.
Brandon, one suggestion here is IPFS hash. We might call that CID instead, or CID/hash.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Less esoteric things people need to learn about IPFS.
And a link to Pinata might be a good
Mm-hmm.
until you update the UI to support it directly.
Yeah,
and then once you paste it in there, it might be worthwhile to fetch it in preview.
yeah, I like it. Cool. Yeah, guys, keep it coming. These are good suggestions. Profile image attribution. My wife took that image, so I'll put her address in there. Shameless plug. And let's paste this in. Biography. All right, my name is Eden Tester. I come from a long line of testers. I am the 255th. And then we have some nice Bob Lipsum. You can do it. Only 8 colors. Okay, so you can read that later if you want some, just want to get a little skip in your step. Social handles, CCLV, EOS community, Twitter, Telegram. He happens to have this website address. And of course, he doesn't like Facebook, so he won't fill that in. All right. And let's do this. All right, success. Thanks for submitting your profile. Your inviter and witnesses will be in touch to schedule the short video induction ceremony. Now's a good time to reach out to them to let them know that you're ready. We can see that we've completed the setup profile step. It's time to get endorsed. So of course, at this point, he reaches out to Alice and he says,
What
yeah.
would be helpful here is to pull their social profile information and contact and link directly to the people they can reach out.
Yeah, and that, yeah, it's a good point. On the success screen, that'd be great. I'm actually going to click see induction status. And I don't know, I think, okay, yeah, so I don't show them here. We see them later, but we'll bring those in sooner. Full social profile link for inviters, inviter and witnesses earlier in process.
Basically, if you're going to tell them to reach out, give them a way to do so.
Yeah, yeah, cool. All right, so pending induction ceremony. Your inviter or one of the witnesses will be in touch. If you've already completed the ceremony, ask your inviter or witness to attach the video recording here. Remember, this invitation is still open and expires in X number of days. That is dynamic. If time runs out, you can always request another invitation. In the meantime, review your Eden profile below. All right, so we've got a preview below here of what their profile is going to look like. We can see their full statement here and all the links. And
Hey, you said to interrupt, so I'm gonna interrupt.
Please do.
love the UX. I love the look of it. I love the card. I really want a credit card that looks like this. I really want a metal Eden credit card.
Well, big thanks to Thomas, who's on this call, who put a lot of those graphics together.
Yeah,
It's really
thanks,
nice.
Mike.
Is there a way to, we maybe indicate to the person that once this is completed, these fields are permanent, you can't change these fields in the future, you can change?
So we actually do have, they do have a chance to change them still in the process, and we'll see that on the next step. And I actually want to give them the opportunity a little bit earlier on in the process as well. But yeah, stay tuned, because they do get that message right before they donate.
Yeah. So for example, I should be able to edit my profile information at any time, even while I'm waiting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so he has reached out to Alice, and Alice is going to her membership dashboard, and she can see that for Eden Tester CCLV, we have the full name in there now, it is time to complete the ceremony. Now, the ceremony is done offline, and we have instructions for that elsewhere, especially in that in our wiki that I showed you earlier. More details will be there, and we do plan on adding links to various wiki documents directly from this UI as we go. It's just something that we haven't gotten to yet. But the point is that Alice is going to get Test 255, Edeon, and Pip all together in a call with her. And they're going to do the scripted induction that's going to be recorded. She's going to upload that to IPFS. And you can see we started to pull down that CID language. I just didn't have it in there earlier. And she's going to do just what we did earlier with the profile image. She's going to paste that in there. So I've got a video hash already prepared. And actually, I just realized that I can't. Oh, yeah, I can pull that up over here. One sec. Actually, let's do this over here. I'm going to sign in here as one of the endorsers. So we'll sign in as Pip. There's Pip. Pip's going to go to his membership dashboard. He can see that Eden Tester's invite is, he's a member on that. And so this shows that the witnesses can also upload that hash if they want. And I happen to have that hash on my computer. So I'm going to copy that. We'll paste it into this field. And we'll
Remember
submit.
preview on that page.
Yeah. Received. You attach the induction video. It's time for all witnesses, including the inviter, to endorse the prospective member. Now's a good time to reach out to the other witnesses to let them know that the invitee is waiting for their endorsement. So we will tap on onward. And Alice is going to do the same. Alice is going to come in here. And it's time to endorse Eden Tester CCLV. So we'll tap on endorse.
So the endorse button should say review endorsement. Or review and endorse. Otherwise, I think I'm actually endorsing it.
Yeah, good idea.
Does the profile lock after the first endorsement's been done?
No, and we'll see that here in just 1 second. To review and endorse. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's actually read over that here. So we can see the endorsement status for all three right now is not completed. And it says carefully review the prospective member profile information below. Make sure that all social handles and links are accurate and working. If anything needs to be corrected, ask the invitee to sign in and make corrections. If the induction video needs to be corrected, click here. Keep in mind that modifying the induction video will reset any endorsements. They can come down here and review the information. They can tap on view induction ceremony, of course, to see the induction ceremony video.
I put the inline player so they don't have to tap it. They can see it and hit play.
Yeah, makes sense.
Process.
Makes sense. And we have an outstanding task in our GitHub project for embedding videos here. We just haven't gotten there where I like it. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to sign back in as the person who's being invited, which is test 255, right? Yeah. Oops. And you can see now they see, and they really should see this earlier, but now's a good time to review the profile information. If anything needs to be modified or corrected, click here to make those adjustments. Keep in mind, any modifications to your profile will reset any endorsements. We don't want them saying one thing, getting some endorsements and then changing that and trying to get in with a different, truth or whatnot. And so they can click there, modify it will, and it does reset the endorsements. In fact, if over here, Alice were to go ahead and submit her endorsement, right? Now we can see that Alice has endorsed.
That's good.
We go back and we make profile adjustments. And we'll just add the word very because it's true. It's very, very long line of testers. And we'll submit that. Success. So we go back and we see the induction status. And they're all reset. And even if, if Alice goes back, she can see that they've been reset, right? All right, so everybody has to endorse. That's where we're at. And the invitee, test 255, can jump in here and say, you know what, Egion is dragging his feet. Click on Egion, reach out to Egion every which way and say, hey, I need your endorsement, please help me out, right? Let's go back. And so here we go. Alice is going to re-endorse And then Pip is going to come along. Egion, sorry, Egion's going to come along. And Egion needs to endorse. Awesome. So Egion has endorsed. And oh, Egion endorsed the wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, we're doing CCLV. All right, there we go. And Pip. All right, time to endorse Eden Tester. And Pip is reviewed. Awesome. And now we can see that we've gone from induct and endorse to invitee donation. So this induction is fully endorsed. As soon as the prospective member completes their donation to the Eden community, the membership will be activated and their Eden NFTs will be minted and distributed. In the meantime, we recommend reviewing the prospective member profile information below for accuracy. If anything needs to be corrected, ask the invitee to sign in and make corrections. If the induction video needs to be corrected, click here. But of course, that will reset any endorsements, okay? So everybody reaches out to Eden Tester 255, says, hey, time for you to donate. And of course, he's coming in from a different page, so. This is your last chance to review your profile for completeness. You can click here and still correct it. If everything looks good, click on the button below to make your donation. Once completed, your membership will be activated, your NFTs minted and distributed. So let's do that. Let's see real quick here from the perspective of the other.
And they've got here, it's not warning them that once they do this, their profile is set in stone.
Let me change that. Yeah, let me add that language. That's good. Profile is set in stone, at least until the next election, right? Do people have a chance to update the profiles per election? Something we'll need to think about.
Dan, you're on mute.
Their NFT is set in stone. Their profiles can be changed.
Yeah, okay, that series of NFT is set in stone.
Yeah.
Future NFTs will be minted probably with their new profile information.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, got it, cool. Yeah, good call, Todd. All right, and so Egion, one of the endorsers, is here, and they can see that Eden Tester CCLV on the bottom here on the left is pending completion. If they tap in on that, they still have a chance to modify the induction video as well. But guys, we are almost there. It is up to, it still says test 255 right here because they're actually not in the community just yet, but it's up to Eden Tester to do his thing. So Eden Tester says, you know what? I want to be in this community. Let's donate. Submitting donation. Boom. Eden Tester has a name now. He's part of the community. Eden Tester has his member card here in the UI. His NFTs have been minted. In fact, he's collecting one of those NFTs right here. His NFTs are being collected by, looks like he appears in his own list. We should fix that. But Alice has one. Egion has one. Philip has one.
That's not broken. He's collecting himself.
That's true. That's true. Good point. So 4 of them are being collected here. And if we go to community, we can see that one of those is actually out for auction. You tap on that. The auction is going to be for the benefit of the community. I should have mentioned we're running on the WAX testnet right now because WAX has Atomic Hub deployed on its testnet. But yeah, once that goes to auction and is sold, that will benefit the community. Also, these other NFTs can be traded amongst both Eden members and any EOS users, any, in this case, WAX testnet user. And there are some proceeds, a small percentage of that also goes to the community. Over here on the left, let's see where we stand here. And I'm going to update that language. Language for completed ID. All right, and we can see that he's no longer a pending invitation. So that right there, folks, is a demo of EdenOS, our community formation milestone. As I mentioned before, we've got elections and of course budgets and bylaws squarely in our sights. Whenever we start with a feature, we often do an MVP, right? We try to get the feature up and running as quickly as possible. Elections, budgets, and bylaws will be no exception. And as those are up and running and working, we always have the option to release as we're polishing and other things there. So that's some of what you can expect coming up. And going back to our Notion presentation, what's left in the current milestone, like I said, we will be adding Ricardian contracts tomorrow. Then it's time to point our production deployment to the EOS mainnet instead of the WAX testnet and point our domain to it. And then we are in a state that I would call releasable, actionable. I do want to say what I showed you is invitations for a community that has already been stood up and had the Genesis group inducted. The Genesis group is really a subset of the steps that I showed you. The contract to initialize the community is manually called by the founder. And at that point, the UI will basically prompt all of the Genesis members to fill in their profile and then to donate. Endorsements automatically happen as a part of that process. So everybody doesn't have to go in and endorse everybody else. That would be a long and arduous process. But after that donation is made by everybody, the community is stood up and activated, and all of the NFTs are minted and distributed. And we already saw that. So questions?
Great job, Brandon.
Yes.
Well, good job, team. All of us have been working really hard on this. And, it's been a lot of fun working with you guys. A lot of fun.
Oh, that was an impressive demo. Beautiful. I love that the user knows exactly where they are in the process. And it looks like with a few small tweaks to previewing the IPFS content before submitting. Yeah, just a lot of attention to detail in there. Thank you for everything you've done. Can't wait to start using it. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? Well, thank you all very much. And we will talk to you later. I'll stop the recording.